If you're watching this right now, you need to hear this story. It's about a 20-year-old American man, full of life, energy, and dreams, whose world changed in a single, terrifying moment. The doctors said he would never walk again. Friends doubted him. Family feared the worst. But what happened next shocked everyone. Before we get to the impossible, you need to understand who he was and what he had to lose. His name was Jason. At 20, he was unstoppable, or at least, he seemed that way. He loved basketball, not just as a game, but as an escape, a passion. Every weekend, he'd meet friends at the court, sneakers squeaking, adrenaline pumping. But Jason wasn't just a basketball player. He was smart, ambitious, and full of dreams. He wanted to make something of himself, to leave a mark on the world. Yet life has a way of testing even the strongest among us. On the surface, Jason was confident. The guy everyone admired. But inside, there was pressure. Expectations from family, the fear of failing, the constant question. Am I enough? Jason staring out a window at sunset, thoughtful, lost in his thoughts. He believed he had time. Time to chase his dreams. Time to figure life out. Time, until everything changed in an instant. Jason walking confidently on the basketball court, bouncing the ball, smiling at the camera. And that moment came when he least expected it. Jason driving home after basketball practice. Cheerful music fades to tense, dramatic background music. Sun is low in the sky. It was a normal evening. Jason was driving home after basketball practice. The sky was painted in shades of gold and crimson. Everything seemed perfect, normal. Then, a sudden screech of brakes. The world spun out of control. A car ran a red light. Jason had no time to react. Glass shattering, metal crunching, Jason's eyes wide in shock. The impact, it was devastating. When Jason woke, the world was quiet. Too quiet. Pain shot through his body, blinding, paralyzing. His arms, his legs, nothing responded the way they should. Ambulance rushing, lights flashing, paramedics moving fast, Jason barely conscious. At the hospital, the doctors didn't sugarcoat the truth. Jason, they said, voice steady but heavy, you may never walk again. Those words, they didn't just shatter his body, they shattered his soul. Jason lying in a hospital bed, staring blankly at the ceiling, tears sliding down his face. Imagine being 20 years old and hearing that your body, your independence, your life as you knew it, might be gone forever. Family around him, some holding back tears, friends trying to smile but failing. The room feels heavy with despair. Some friends didn't know what to say. Family tried to hide their fear behind forced smiles. Jason felt alone. Helpless. Trapped in a body that refused to obey him. Jason's eyes, filled with fear and disbelief. And in that moment, Jason realized something: life, as he knew it, was over. Jason's casted legs, 4 drips, the sound of hospital machines beeping. Every dream he had seemed to vanish in a single heartbeat. Basketball? Gone. Independence? Gone. His future? Uncertain. Jason trying to move his legs, failing, frustration and pain on his face. But even in the darkest moments, sometimes, a tiny spark remains. A flicker of hope that refuses to die. Jason didn't know it yet, but that spark was about to change everything. The weeks after the accident were unbearable. Pain consumed him, sharp, relentless, unyielding. Every attempt to move, to lift a leg or even bend his arms, was met with failure and agony. Jason attempting to sit up with the help of a nurse, falling back, frustration etched on his face. He questioned everything. Why him? Why now? Was this the end of his dreams, of his life as he knew it? Some nights, he couldn't sleep. Tears would flow freely in the darkness, silent sobs that no one could hear. He felt trapped, helpless, abandoned, even by God. Jason watching basketball games on TV, his favorite team playing, his hands twitching as if he wants to join but can't. And yet, even in despair, a small voice whispered inside him. "You are not finished. Not yet." It was faint. Fragile. But it was there. And somehow, it refused to be ignored. Jason gripping the hospital bed tightly, his knuckles white, taking a shaky deep breath, determination flickering in his eyes. That spark, it found fuel in the form of a physical therapist named Emily. She didn't give up on him. She refused to let him believe the doctor's words were final. "Jason," she said, "I don't care what they told you. You're stronger than you think. We'll take it one step at a time." Jason hesitates, doubts himself, but nods. They start with small exercises, wiggling toes, lifting a leg slightly. The first day was brutal. Every movement hurt like fire, every tiny success felt impossibly hard. But for the first time since the accident, Jason felt something he hadn't felt in weeks: hope. Montage of days passing, Jason slowly progressing, falling, trying again, small victories piling up. His family watches, astonished. Day by day, Jason fought. Inch by inch, he clawed back pieces of his life. He refused to give up. Every failure became fuel. Every doubt became a challenge to overcome. And little by little, miracles began to happen. Jason standing with the help of parallel bars, sweating, trembling. Months of pain, determination, and relentless effort led to the impossible. The first time he stood on his own, it was almost unbearable to watch. Trembling legs, shaky hands, but he stood. Jason's face, tears streaming, smiling through pain. The doctors who once doubted him were speechless. Friends who had feared the worst couldn't believe their eyes. And Jason, he felt something deeper than joy. He felt alive again. Not just alive, stronger, braver, unbreakable. His accident had tried to define him. But he refused to be defined by tragedy. Jason walking a few steps without support. Family cheering. And in that moment, Jason realized something powerful. Life doesn't end when we fall. It begins again when we rise. Jason on the basketball court again, shooting hoops slowly, smiling. Friends gather around, cheering. Jason's journey is proof that no matter how dark life gets, no matter how impossible it seems, hope can spark a miracle. At 20 years old, he faced what many would call the end. But through courage, faith, and relentless determination, he rewrote his story. Jason looking at the camera, strong, confident, smiling. And if you're watching this right now, remember this. Your challenges do not define you. Your setbacks are not your ending. Sometimes, the moment you think all is lost, is the moment your true story begins. Jason walked again. And his story continues to inspire everyone who dares to believe. If this story touched you, if it gave you even a small spark of hope, I need you to do something right now. Like this video, so more people who feel hopeless can find this message. Comment the word unstoppable below if you believe you can overcome anything. And subscribe to this channel, because stories like this don't just inspire, they transform lives. You never know who needs to hear this next. It could be a friend, a brother, a sister, or even you, on a day when you feel like giving up. Jason walked again. And if he can rise from what tried to break him, so can you. Never give up.